Hi, I'm Debbie Hartner.
I'm Elsie Johnson.
We are two sisters, Southern Cooking.
Good morning. So as you can tell, we have a little bit longer sleeves on. We're a little bit chilly this morning here.
It usually gets hot in the kitchen here.
And it'll warm up as soon as we get everything, all the stoves going and the ovens and everything going.
Yeah. So I have a tank top underneath, and I still have my jacket on. So we're a little chilly this morning. Chilly.
It's oh goodness, what, 3-4 days? Mm-hmm. It's been in the low 40s here, which is chilly. You know, I mean, it gets up
in the 80s.
Yeah, so it's been beautiful, beautiful weather. So, but we're making some Amish white bread today. So
I wanted something different because we're going to be doing fish sticks, and maybe you guys don't do this. I do. I grew up eating like that. We used to get the fish sticks from the store. Mom used to fry them, and then we would put like either tartar sauce or mayonnaise or salad dressing.
I'm a little weird. I always did white bread on my fish sticks with ketchup and peppercini peppers.
Oh, really? Peppercini peppers.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
I've never done that.
Yeah.
I loved it with ketchup until I had an allergy to tomatoes and ketchup. So I can't have that. But that was like my go-to when I was a kid too, was the ketchup.
Yeah.
But I never put pepperoncinis on it.
Yeah. And you know what else I liked as a kid, and as I got a little young adult, I used to like Chef Boyardee spaghetti with pepperoncinis in it. Talk about pepperoncinis and odd stuff.
That is very odd. Cheese steaks for me, please. Yeah. But there's a place in Sanford, Florida. It's called Skibbo's. And they have the best cheese sticks I've ever had. And I used to live outside of Philly. And if I say they're better than what you have in Philly, they're good. Oh my God. I've been around, and it's the best.
Yeah.
To me, it is.
So anyway, what we're doing right now is we're going to make some white loaf bread, because we're going to actually, we're doing the fish sticks, we're doing fried shrimp.
We're doing a low country boil.
And we're doing a low country boil. So it's all going to be, and chips.
Oh.
Like the British French fries.
Yeah, because you know what? You just can't have French fries. How many ways did we have already done French fries?
Right, we've done a lot of ways.
We're going to do the original British chips.
So tonight is going to be seafood basically.
Yeah.
And I really can't wait for that low country boil, because I love low country boil.
So. I can't wait to try the fish sticks. That was
yeah.
I actually had bought some fish sticks not too long ago, and I cooked them, and Ben's like, "Why don't you make these homemade?" And I'm like, "Oh, that's an idea."
And honestly, this is not the way that you found the recipe to do. It's not the way frozen ones are done, because frozen fish sticks are minced fish that are put into patties. Mm-hmm. This is actually just cod cut into strips and breaded.
Yes.
So it's really like fried cod strips.
Yeah.
But
it's gonna be good, y'all.
Yeah. So we're gonna get started here. We have our warm water that is probably about 105 now, because we've been standing here talking. But it needs to be between 105 and 115, as you all know from all the bread we've made. That's the perfect sweet spot to make your yeast bloom. And then we have our yeast.
Then we got a tablespoon and a half of the active yeast.
And this is actually more yeast than what we normally put in our bread, because we have way more flour than we normally do.
Yes, we do. And this is 6 cups of bread flour.
Yeah, normally we do 3.5.
Holy moly. And this recipe does not have any egg in it.
No, it doesn't.
No binding agent. So it's going to be very interesting to see the consistency of this when we cut it.
Right. So we're going to let this, I'm going to just make sure all that yeast is broken up in there. We're going to let this set between 5 and 10 minutes until it's nice and frothy. And then we will add in our salt and our melted butter.
Yes.
And then we'll put it in the mixer and we'll start the process.
Yes. By the way, happy birthday to my son who is deployed right now in the USS Chicago submarine, and today is his 30th birthday. So I love you, son. Be safe, and
can't wait to see you. All right, our stuff has proofed really well. It looks beautiful, actually. So we're going to put the butter in.
I'm going to just spoon this in here.
And then we have our salt to put in.
And we're going to mix it together and then put it inside of our mixer rather than doing it,
mixing it in there.
Because it's just so messy. So, okay, y'all. So we are going to go ahead and pour in our mixture now that Elsie's mixed it together. And then we're going to add in a cup at a time of the flour.
So I'm going to raise the bowl up here so that we can start it slowly mixing as you add this in. It is done mixing together.
It's going to be a little tacky, but we're going to work it on the
dough looks really good though.
Floured surface. So
yeah, it looks really good though.
It will pull together really nicely.
The recipe specifies do not add more flour to it.
Right. Are you ready?
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Right. This will make 2 loaves in a 9 by 5 loaf pan.
And the dough has a little bit of a sweetness to it, just in case if you don't like a sweet dough or sweet bread, it does have a little bit of sweetness to it. But we're going to work this on the surface here for just a couple minutes. Elsie's going to go ahead and get it ready to, and just start kneading it and folding it, and we're going to do this just to be able to get it ready.
It feels so soft.
Is it?
Yeah.
I know it tastes good. Yeah, like a pillow.
Yeah. This is going to be really good.
You can do this by hand as well, but it's going to take a lot of arm strength and a lot of fortitude to do this.
Yeah, so the mixer is
the way to go.
The way to go.
Yeah. And you can also use oil in place of the butter, but as far as that taste that the butter gives it, it's so much better. It's so richer than an oil.
Yeah. Okay.
And we use salted butter.
We always use salted butter. And we just adjust our, we watch our salt that we're adding to it because of that, but we like.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Look at that.
Look at that.
That's what you want.
Right. When it bounces back like that, then it's ready to proof.
Right.
It's primed. All right.
Okay, I'm going to roll it around in here so that the oil gets on all sides real quick. And then we're going to let it set up
in the oven.
Heated up the oven to 150 and then turn the oven off. And I'm going to actually take my hands and rub a little bit of the oil on it so that it has a little bit of oil all the way around.
Because you don't want your dough not to be a little oily, because what happens is it starts to harden and it sets and it won't grow past that. So you want to be able to keep it moist.
Right.
So that's why we asked you to oil or butter your bowls before you put dough in it.
Okay, I'm going to put a towel over this and we're going to throw it in our preheated oven at 150 just a nice warm temperature, just so that it has a little more controlled heat to rise. So we'll be back when it's done, and we'll split it, and then we'll get it into our loaf pans, and then it has to rise one more time
for 30 to 45 minutes. So.
Right.
But we'll be right back, guys.
We are back. Our dough is looking beautiful.
Oh, look at it.
This is a lot of dough.
We ended up letting it sit up for about an hour and a half because we had somebody stop by, and so we just left it in the oven at the warm temperature. We didn't have the oven on, so we just let it sit in there to like continue to rise and stuff.
Right.
So we didn't get it out at an hour, but it was ready at an hour. It looked good.
Yeah. So I'm gonna punch it down. Watch it deflate. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it is.
All right.
What is this?
So, all right. So it needs to be kneaded. Let me get a little bit of flour just to put on top.
I'm just going to like do this kind of punching down because it does have gases it releases in other parts too. So. There you go. Now you go ahead. You're better at kneading than I am.
All right.
We have our strengths and our weaknesses.
Mm-hmm.
So soft. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
This is just to get everything so combined, and then also to get all the gas and the air out of it, so when we do bake it, that it just nicely raises and everything. It doesn't have like little pockets in there because you want to release that gas. Because yeast has a lot of fermentation, so it causes gas. So you just want to release that so you don't have like those little pockets of gas sticking up that's needing a little attention.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna take my ring off.
You want to cut it in half?
Yes, ma'am. So Elsie's going to do hers. I'm going to do mine. And so what we do, she's going to do a different method than me.
Yeah, we both have our different ways of doing things.
I always roll mine because I found that if you do it, it comes out perfectly. And when you cut it, it has almost like a roll inside of it, like you can see the way the dough is. So I just roll it out a little bit so you can, let me get that.
And always put your seam to the bottom, regardless of how you do it.
Yes, you do. Always. And if you decide to tuck it in, see how she's doing it. She's fancy. Okay, so this is mine, and that's Elsie's. So you see how they both look. We're going to do a second rise on this for about 30-45 minutes, and then we'll put them in the oven and we'll bake them. We can't put them in the oven again because we do have the carrot cakes in there.
But we set it on top.
But we can set it and let it go ahead and let that
heat
heat come up there and just give it a little love. So, all right, guys, we'll show you what it looks like when we're ready to bake them. It should be about 1 to 2 inches above the top of the pan when it's ready to go. By the way.
Yep.
All right, we'll see you shortly.
Hey y'all, this is what our bread looks like. It's fixing to go in the oven, but it has risen up above the sides of the loaf pan. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in the oven and get it baked up right on up. I'm Elsie.
And I'm Debbie.
We're Two Sisters Southern Cooking.
And we thank you for visiting our page. Please like, share, and subscribe.
Thank you.
This show is produced by Two Sisters Productions, McRae, Georgia.